Welcome back. If you're returning, welcome. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for being here. I'm Zoe, and this is DivinityWithinThee, where we take time to get in touch with the divine and align with our soul's purpose, our soul's mission. So today, how is everybody doing? I'm looking kind of crazy. Got my lions, my Leo mane going on. Anybody else have like big hair problems during Leo season? Yeah, so basically today we're talking about new moon, right? And the new moon is in Leo, but we've had so much other things planetarily wise going on, right? We have like right now, I think we have 6 planets in retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde, so you're probably feeling the foreshadow of that. And we had the Venus Cazimi, so basically like Venus is going from being an evening star to a morning star. And then we have also like Sun conjunct Uranus, which means it's going to be like pretty intense, like shift changes. And then we also have like Black Moon Lilith. Okay, so what's basically going on right now is, I think the best way to relate it, I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology before I get to the new moon. But I think the best way that we can really like relate it is basically if we kind of focus a little bit on Venus, right, and Black Moon Lilith. They're basically like this really intense, like dark feminine energy that's coming out, right? Because Venus is evening star now. It's hidden behind the sun, so it's in the darkness, right? And with Leo, it's, you know, the new moon and this being in the sign of Leo. It's all about the light, right? The sun. It's about illuminating the brightness. And when planets go retrograde, like in a specific sign at a specific time, there is actually a specific reason why. And that didn't rhyme. But there is a specific reason why. And the reason why is because there's some things that didn't get attended to properly that need a revision. And so that's generally when planets go retrograde into the sign. It's like, hey, we're revisiting this. So how does this apply to us? How can we use this knowledge if we don't know that much about astrology and help it to better navigate? And the answer is, first of all, see where Leo is in your chart, right? That'll help you a lot with whatever the lunar phase is and all the things that are going on. Also, like, we're looking at a cycle. We're looking at an 8-year cycle. So what was happening, what we're reevaluating is the choices that we made are what was happening about 8 years ago. So in the summer, Leo season of like 2015, or even just 2015 in general, take a moment to kind of go back in retrospect and reassess what was happening, right? Now, Venus is a planet of like self, of love, of nurturing, and of all this. And Leo is all about our authenticity, right? Our creativity, our self, right? And we just had the North Node move into Aries. So it's really about how are we showing up authentically for ourselves? Not just to others, but for ourselves. Are we being true? Are we being truthful with ourselves? How and what it is that we're here to do, right? Like our soul's purpose, our soul's mission. And are we, you know, speaking our truth? Are we roaring loud enough for it to be heard unapologetically in our full vastness of authenticity? Because that's basically what's going on right now. So with Venus doing all this stuff, it's also asking us to really reevaluate our relationships and I know I talk about this a lot, but our relationships to, not just to other people, you know, not just intimate, like, you know, our relationships to what we understand love or relationships as in general. You know, we're having a pretty intense hard reset, a reprogramming, and basically, like, what's happening is we're in with this new earth and everything happening, we're like reevaluating really like what feels good, you know, what is loving, what is nurturing, what is feeding our soul, our inspiration, our creativity, our purpose. And this is a really huge thing, right? Is everyone figuring out what their soul's purpose or soul's mission is. Now, I did a reading for a friend a while back. Shout out to Attilio. And, you know, he was like, what am I supposed to do? All of these things, right? And, you know, he didn't really want to go back into modeling because he had had a really hard time with it. However, what the guides were very clear about was, listen, we have to sometimes take the things, right, our God-given gifts, talents, or abilities that we've had that come to us easily or naturally. Sometimes we have to kind of go back into that and be like, what about this did I excel and succeed at? And in the process of that, if you're now so much changed from what you were before and you want to speak up on the behalf of the collective and be giving these messages and really getting through to people, well, the best way to use your voice is to first have people's attention, right? Once we have people's attention, then they can pay attention. Then the currency, the energy is now aligned and focused, and it's more readily available to us to be able to share our gifts or access or do the things that we need. And so, yeah, you know, and now it's really beautiful. You know, he's being able to use his voice with his pictures. And I think he mentioned something about creating a nice coffee table book with all these cool quotes and sayings and all these things to really help people. So there's ways that we can tap back into things that we maybe thought were certain evils or we thought that we stepped away from in life, but actually be able to tap into and harness that energetic space of who we were or something that we can still relate to, right? Because even though change is the only constant and we're ever evolving, I think it's still important, especially now, because we're going back, and when we're looking at love and relationships, especially with self, we're really revisiting like childhood structure, childhood wounding, childhood bonding. What were these things that we were programmed, that we were told either you're really good at this or you're not good at this, and how is that now pouring over and affecting us in this now present moment? And it's something to really consider. So I challenge you guys to really, like, when we tap back in and we sit, when we feel these feelings and we're like, oh, I don't like how this feels, give it a moment, sit with it, and understand why, right? Why does this not feel good? Why am I changing what love looks like to me? Why am I changing what stability, what family, what relationships? Why am I doing this? What was wrong or off, or what is feeling out of place now, and why? And then we can more properly move forward with this information. We can navigate, you know, the seasons of life and really get through to it. So this new moon in Leo, RaWrr, speak up Be loud, be fierce, go for it. What is it that is really like feeding your soul? You know, what can you really like take a bite out of, take a bite into? What have you maybe wanted to do or wanted to give energy to or started to, but then stopped? And also like, you know, what happened, right? What was going on 8 years ago, the last time we were experiencing a similar transit and situation. Now, for me personally, and I love sharing this stuff because you guys seem to resonate with it. So, and then people share with me backstories, and also like share your stories in the comments, guys, because guess what? You never know how what you say is helping other people. And that, lo and behold, is, you know, the lesson that I'm learning now is, you know, through our experiences, through our traumas, our trials, our tribulations, our knowledge, our understanding, our expansion, we have the ability actually to help and assist other people, even if we don't know how. We don't have to directly call somebody and be helping them, you know. The interesting thing about being a channel is there is a lot of energies, like a lot of my same people that watch a lot, your energies, I always pick them up. I'm always tuning into them. And so you'll notice that the collective or community of people that tune in with me, things are really resonate, right? Because I'm picking up on the frequency that you're putting out in order to deliver the message, right? The questions and the concerns and the things that you have floating around. So the lesson, what I learned was, you know, 8 years ago in 2015, I was prepping a boat. I am a captain. I am a sailor. I used to have 5 little boats actually. And I was prepping the bigger sailboat to get ready to sail. And all I really wanted was people to show up and to do it with me, until it came to a point, you know, after a year had gone by this time, 2015, I was really making a lot of things happen. And I had become an international designer, doing photo shoots in other countries, and really just excelling at everything that I was doing. However, there was too much exterior noise, so I was like, fuck this and I got in a boat, and I was with myself in the ocean, really in this boat, in this deprivation chamber, one with nature, one with water, really able to sit with my thoughts. And that was definitely one of my really intense awakenings. You know, I had done tarot and channeling and stuff before that, but after I was in the boat, the messages and the things I would receive were just galactic, you know? And so yeah, I just wanted to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and going and following the signs and the signals and seeing where it led me, and who I ran into and what came up next and what was going on. And yeah, so what I was seeking was definitely to have like, you know, like mate, like partnership on the boat, to be able to sail and to do these things. And, you know, it didn't happen. And so I was like, whatever, I can make this happen on my own. And now, roll forward the clock 8 years later, I am realizing, because I've been so independent for so long, on my own for so long, that it's actually a little bit detrimental to me. Because at this point, as many of you may or may not know, I don't know if you're new or returning subscriber, but I was in a really bad accident. I was hit by a truck on my motorbike about 4 or 5 months ago. 5 months ago, because we're in a new moon. So 5 months ago. My whole face, I got blunt force trauma to my head, and my whole face, both my shoulder, my whole body was broken from head to toe in 8 places. So it was really intense, and I've been on this healing journey. Now the thing about it is having to keep my foot up, not being able to walk, for the first time in my life, not being able to do these things for myself. And the biggest lesson came into me that community, this thing that I've been calling for, wasn't just like a preemptive call. Maybe it partially was, but it was this very real thing, right? Because when it comes down to it, And you, we, whoever, don't have the capacity to walk or even do basic things like care for ourselves, shower ourselves, then it creates this whole other dichotomy, right? Of you need people's help. And I've been going through this battle for 5 months because as far as metaphysics, quantum physics, and all this stuff is explained, like, yeah, we don't want to talk too much about things that we don't want to continue calling in for ourselves. So it was like this very fine line of asking for help, but then also not asking for help, because I couldn't project that I was in this situation. However, without sharing that I was in this situation, I also couldn't receive the help that I needed. So it's been a little bit hard. And I also realized a big lesson in that is the reason why I've been so independent and done so many things on my own is because as sitting with my younger child and my younger teenager, I wasn't ever listened to. I wasn't, people never showed up for me. And so if I didn't take care of myself and I didn't do it for myself, it didn't happen. So I created this program, or whatever this program was created or programmed into me, that even if I did ask for help, that nobody was coming. And so, yeah, that's been the last 8-year cycle. Save yourself. And although, yes, that is hugely prevalent, the reality is we're pack animals. We're pack creatures. As much as we go through self-evolution and spirituality and become one with self and source, we still require community. We still require support, and we still require other people. We didn't come here to have this experience by ourselves. You're on your own, but you're not alone. So there's many other people experiencing similar things. So I decided to I actually wrote for the new moon. If you haven't written your intentions, go ahead and write your intentions. Now remember that it's not just this particular phase. It's not just this 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon. This is the lunar phase. Now we had 3 pretty powerful lunations this month in August. We start at the beginning of August with the first full moon. Now we're on this new moon, and we're going to end with a super moon, blue moon, which means there's 2 full moons in 1 month. And so this is rather, you hear this saying, once in a blue moon, it's like we don't get this opportunity very often. We really don't. So let's take this time and take this opportunity to really dream big, right? Leos just think about things just so big and boisterous. So I encourage you every day, your paper where you have your intentions and everything that you want to do, every day, make a new wish, add to your dream, make it larger until the blue moon occurs, right? And know that in this process that we really have, it's like 6 months, right? Until we come back around, until we hit the next moon into Leo, right? When we're doing this. So dream big, dream bigger, think big, think bigger, and really just like make the intention, make a new wish, put it to the universe every day, your wildest dreams, your wildest, what can I achieve? Not if I had the money, if I had the time, if I was here, if I was there, if, no. If there was no if, that is the place, and that is the answer of what's really going on with this. And, really, let's really get in touch with our deep, darker inner feminine. Let's really honor this Venus and this Black Moon Lilith energy, it's basically like the Athena energy, right? It's like this warrior goddess fucking coming out of the depths and really like giving no fucks about speaking the truth, about being authentic and being like, no, yes, yes, so much yes. And so tap into that energy. You know, especially because Mercury is about to go retrograde. And so, you know, it's going to get a little bit harder for us to communicate the things that we need. That's why it's important to write words or spells. That's why it's called spelling. It's important to write. It's part of this conjuring. And I would encourage you to do it every day if you can. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know. You don't have to have something that you're specifically writing. Sometimes it's good just to write and do a dump. You know, just let it out. See what comes out. And see where it goes. So, let's get to the tarot. If you guys could be absolute dolls and like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share this with somebody who you think could also use the assistance in navigating these crazy planetary energies. You know, this is my energetic exchange. I give out to the world. A like or a comment with a little heart, or new moon even would be amazing, you guys. It helps the algorithms. It helps small independent content creators like myself to keep giving you the messages and for them to be seen, you know. So also I will drop my GoFundMe. You know, the struggle is real. So I appreciate all the love, all the support, all of the help that everybody's been giving me, and just to get back on my feet. And literally, guys, I am doing my best not to give it too much energy, but MRSA is pretty intense, and you know, I really am facing a pretty dramatic thing to where I might go full pirate. I might lose a limb. I might have to lose my foot or my leg because the infection is spreading so rapidly, and I'm slowly losing mobility again. So please support in whatever way you can. If that's just a like or a subscribe or a share, that would be amazing. You know, if you can energetically exchange something else, that's amazing. If you want to schedule a personal or private session, definitely direct message me, you know, DivinityWithinThee at Gmail. Also, check out my Instagram, message me there. So, collective energy for the Leo new moon. First, we have the palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. Now, this is really important because we have, I think there's like, in all these retrogrades, I think there's like multiple signs, like 4 or 5 signs that are in fixed sign energy. So it means what we are setting is creating our stability, right? And with Pluto, with all of these exterior planets in retrograde coming in, we're setting ourselves up, not the next 8-year cycle, the next 10-year cycle, the next 20 years, you guys. So really, where would you like to go? And be clear. Be very clear, because the universe can't place orders if they don't know. Separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure future. So, for a lot of my collective energy, heart with a key, welcoming love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together, it becoming perfect. So for some of you, and I'm still wondering, you know, I've heard from a couple people, but I'm still wondering what's going on, because I definitely know some of my viewers are either facing separation, missing a love, trying to get back to a love, getting ready to propose or start a new love, and some of us are just welcoming in new love. So remember, be this, welcome love, right? Meeting the one, you know, it's like I finally met the one, myself. I know exactly how to treat myself. So let's get messages for the collective. Let's get some tarot. 2 of Cups, yeah. So a lot of you definitely are calling this in, this soulmate energy. Some of you may be afraid. So for some of you that you have, some people have something that they need to come clean with, you know, and they need to be honest about, and they are super worried about the judgment. And this could even be like with ourselves, a true authenticity. It's like, stop judging ourselves. Your soul wants to soar. Your soul, you know, your intuition. And that's really, we need to stop with all the exterior, right? The Lion, the Leo is really, even though it's the solar plexus, it's really about heart, right? And courage, right? Even back to, what do you call it? The Wizard of Oz, right? It's about having this courage to have to listen to our heart, to have the heart. Stop judging yourself. Stop thinking other people are going to judge you, because you're never going to know if you don't speak your authenticity, right? You're going to drive yourself crazy about it. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. It's the fastest moving knight in the deck. For some of you, what I'm getting is you could have had a past relationship. It could have been fueled on a lot of passion, intense passion. And, you know, as much as you're trying to reignite your flame, this other person in the background is also wondering if the judgment is going to go like this, if the Queen is going to say yes, or if she's going to chop off heads. If when the offer is made, it is going to be received in reciprocity. If the passion is still there, if it still exists or not. And to answer your question, the only way to know is to work on it. is to actually put the information out, right? Is to actually say something about it, and then see. Because you know what? As scary as it can be sometimes to just express ourselves or to tell people how we feel, you know, the relief that we get, whether it's a yes or a no at the end, is like a huge weight lifted off of us, right? So I encourage you to have the courage and figure out, if you want to work with these other people, then like do it, you know? Messages for the collective. Yes, messages coming in. 8 of Wands. Coming in hot. The Tower. Okay, so for some of you, like me, have been experiencing or have experienced a lot of Tower moments recently. A lot of things coming to an end because we are needing to rebuild and restructure how we're doing things, our relationships and everything, right? For some of you guys, the message that can come in, right, this person could be a little bit fear of the judgment because they're afraid if they tell you that if there was any type of love or anything like that, that it could crumble. Now, let me be real with you guys. You never lose something real by being honest. Never do. When we show up authentically, when we show up authentically and we speak our truth, right? We RaWrr. The only things that are going to fall away are things that didn't belong there anyways, things that are meant to fall away. So be okay with that. Yeah. Be okay with the endings in order for the new beginnings, the universe, the world card. Yeah? Be okay, right? In order for rebirth, there has to be death. In order for beginnings, there has to be endings. It's not one ongoing story or sentence. And I'm absolutely loving these mixes from Pretty Lights at the Ballroom. Six of Wands. We will be victorious when we surrender to this. We will be victorious. We will come out on top. We will achieve exactly what we needed to. And we will be able to actually tap in to the love and to receive the love. And you know what? Sometimes that comes from pouring our heart out. You know, the king of hearts, the king of cups is typically, yeah? You like the king of cups? Yeah? The king of cups is typically like very capable of deep love, just has a bit of a hard time expressing it, right? It's like they wear their heart on their sleeve, but simultaneously they don't want to let people know too much, because that could be their downfall. You know, it's our up and our down. Temperance. Learn to find the middle ground. Learn to find the balance in everything. And that is how you will truly achieve your wishes, your dreams, the star. So here we have Libra energy. We have Scorpio energy, Cancer, Cancer and Pisces energy, Sagittarius and Aquarius energy. Whether those do or don't apply to you, it's just the energies that are coming through from here. So, some oracle card guidance, please and thank you. One more, please. Oop. There we go. First card, deep knowing. Okay, so the wisdom and the moon is the owl. I don't know if that helps at all. The owl is representing wisdom. The star and the moon above the moon is higher wisdom, right? It's bringing in light to the darkness. The light is coming in. And that is really what is going on also when the new moon comes. We're in this black moon energy. So we're in the darkness. Be okay with being in the darkness. Be okay with being like, I'm afraid to do this, and fucking do it. Because all that can happen is we're progressing. We're moving forward, right? 2, the yin energy. Be gentle with yourself. I encourage you, especially during this time, yes, be creative, but be kind, be soft, be gentle with yourself, be kind, and also recognize in the fact that we want to do things and get things done, that it's not always a necessary requirement, right? Sometimes more happens in the space of calmness, in the space of surrender, instead of resisting, right? As humans, we tend to want to have to take action for everything and do. Well, we're not human doings, we are human beings. So remember to be in your center, be in yourself, be with your intuition, be who you are in your truth, in your authenticity. Be all that is. Treasure Island 9. So some of you guys could be coming into completion, and the energy is really shifting, right? The energy is really changing. And that's beautiful. How is it changing? By being in the receptive mode, by being loving, by taking care of ourselves, right? By being in that yin energy, right? By knowing, by trusting our intuition, by trusting. When we stop thinking about all the other things, what could go bad, what the person might say, what are they going to think? Are they going to turn me down? Whatever the fuck it is, you guys. Know in the depths of your soul that you have nothing to lose, because if it was yours, then you're not going to lose it. And if it wasn't yours from the beginning, then it wasn't yours to have in the first place. So you're again not losing anything because you don't own anything, right? We're all part of one whole. So what's for you is for you. And if you feel that deep in your soul and you know that, then express it, then act on it. Whoa, hold on, that was way too many. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to shine. So be playful, you guys. Be creative. Be curious. Be childlike. You know, and don't be children, but be childlike. In a naive, open to the world. Like, I'm seeing everything for the first time. Wow. Why? What is this for? What is that for? Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So for some of you guys, this is your soulmate, the person that you're thinking about or that you're wondering. And for all of you guys, that, you know, this is a prediction also. For some of you guys, you're in the process of this, and for some of you guys, it hasn't come to pass yet. So, no, it has the ability to still happen. Like I said, it can happen in 1 week, it could happen in 6 months. One more message, please. Any more messages? Boom. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So the more we are gentle, again, with this yin energy, the more we are gentle, the more we are real with ourselves and the care and the gentleness that we need, the better it will be. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So now what's important in forgiveness, you guys, is we don't forgive the other people because we feel like they deserve it. We forgive them for ourselves, right? Like, I don't have a close relationship with my family because they're pretty terrible to me, to be completely honest. However, I forgive them. I forgive them for not understanding their trauma, for not wanting, for making the conscious choice to choose not to face or deal with their trauma or their things, you know? Unfortunately, it makes it heavy on me because it puts all of the generational trauma and karma on me, which is what I'm still recovering from. However, I forgive them. I forgive them for not understanding, for not knowing what it was, for not having the emotional maturity, even to this day, to move past it. And do I forgive them because they're amazing and they deserve forgiveness? No. I forgive them because it's too much weight for me to carry.